Simabuf, simabi, terera, sine kamoka.
Good morning, this is Tatiana from Wange Chronicles, and we're still at the ZIMZAM 2025 Summit in Zambia, Radisson Hotel. I'm joined by a member from the Stanbic Bank. She will introduce herself and tell you more about the organization Stanbic, which is, by the way, in Zimbabwe as well as in Zambia. And it's international, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
yes.
It is. Okay,
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Oh, good morning, Tatiana. My name is Hellen Lubamba, and I head up corporate and investment banking at Stanbic Bank Zambia. And Stanbic Bank, as you said, is in many countries. It's in 21 countries in Africa.
Wow.
And we have representation offices in Europe, and also in America, and in the East and China. And so it is a global bank, but its purpose is to spur the growth of Africa. So wherever Standard Bank, which is our parent company, has offices, is to work with people who want to partner with on the African continent.
Okay. No, that's fine. So we are here at this summit, and it's an energy summit where every other organization that is interested in investing in the future to secure our energy in Africa is coming on board to say, what do we do next? And investors as well are involved. Stanbic being in the financial sector, how do you see your involvement in this summit?
Well, we are here to fund those solutions and to find ways of making sure that we fund responsibly, but at the same time there is a need to find solution to the energy crisis. So as a financial partner, we are bridging the gap between the independent power producers, the utility companies that are trying to provide the energy, as well as the linking it to the rest of us who take the energy, which is the mining companies, your households, and industry in general. So we bridge that gap.
Okay. So should we say, with energy generation, now it is open to the private sector?
Yes.
A private player can come in and start construct their own plant. Are you funding those, or you're only interested in funding government initiatives?
Okay, we're funding both, but more and more we're funding the private sector, because the partnerships that we need require significant private sector participation if we're going to close the energy gap. The government, to the largest part, facilitates these independent investors because they provide a conducive environment. Policy change in Zambia, once we had open access regulation come in, and policy change, it opened up for the private sector to be able to participate in the energy sector. Previously, it was dominated by one supplier, which was ZESCO, our utility company. So ZESCO still continues to be a big part of that, but it has to be supplemented by private sector. So we, as financiers, look at solutions that are workable in terms of funding these solutions in partnership with government and other regulatory bodies in the energy sector.
Okay, as we close our interview, I want me and you to agree. If a person brings a project on your table, it sounds feasible whilst it's still theoretical, but obviously there are feasibility studies that the person has to do to prove that whatever implementation methods they intend to employ will work.
Yeah.
Do you join these organizations when they do their feasibility studies? For example, there's this Batoka project that is that is still under feasibility research. So not to speak of Batoka, but all these other private players who approach you with a need for funding. Do you join them to conduct these feasibility studies?
Yeah, we don't conduct them ourselves, but it's also critical that the bank is engaged right from the beginning, because sometimes you'll have parties who will come and say, oh, I've already done these studies, that. But the financing partners have to be comfortable with the parties you're working with. And also they have to be comfortable to the level of due diligence that's being done. So the best thing is to partner with us as early as possible, so that we can then sit down and say, okay, what are the requirements? And we tick the boxes of what is required. And we've also become we've been partnering with a lot of consultants that work in assisting. So we can also provide that kind of advisory service in terms of the list of partners that are available to work with. Because some of these investors are coming from abroad.
Yeah.
So they need to know who they need to partner with in country to help them get a lot of the agreements. There's a long list of agreements that need to be done before you can get anywhere near the bankability or even reaching financial close. So we are there and are able to provide that kind of guidance. But we don't do it ourselves, but there's a lot of partners and agencies that have set up that are doing that job and doing a very good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off the record, I'd like to ask, is there a limitation to the amount that you'd be funding, or you can fund as long as the project seems or looks lucrative and feasible?
Yeah, the limits that are normally depend on the bank's balance sheet. So we've got one of the largest capital bases in Zambia, so we are able to fund significantly large projects than a lot of other smaller banks might be able to. So without putting a specific number on it, close to 100 million. And with that, you can put in structures whereby you can also get support from, for example, our parent company to be able to meet the balance. If we've got a regulatory limit that we need to meet with our regulator or banking regulator when we do funding, but if we need to supplement it, we can always partner with either with other banks or with our parents. So it gives us a lot of leeway to be able to fund significantly large projects. We funded 100 million project with two of the projects that we've done have been close to 100 million. So that was easy to do. And we've done one of the largest solar PV projects on the continent, and this was the Caribbean North Bank extension, which closed in May and was commissioned in June. So we funded that together with our Caribbean North Bank in partnership with them and in partnership with Greenco, as well as having the offtake from the mine. So that's where summits like this year, they've been talking significantly about mining and energy. They are so critical because the mining sector is the largest user of energy in Zambia, for example.
Yes.
55%. Mining companies use energy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So this is Helen from the Stanbic Bank.
Zambia,
to be specific. Thank you very much for joining us. This is Tatenda from Wange Chronicles, signing out.